chickadees. Yes, I have a weird compilation of stuff in front of you. I am not feeling the best, and I just felt like some veggies. And sometimes that's just what I want. So I thought, ooh, I have a nice yellow squash, which I did, except that it had been sitting in one spot on the shelf too long and it had gotten a soft spot on one side. So I cut that off, and I'm going to cook the rest of that with a can of green beans, of all things, and some of my tamarind powder. And I'm just going to have that right now. I have planned a couple of meals later in the day, but I'm not sure how that's going to go. So I'm going to start with this. I'm going to do some dishes, and we'll see what happens a bit later in the day. Okay, so I made the green beans and squash into a soup because the tamarind powder is actually a tamarind soup powder. So I had a little bowl of basic veggie soup, and that was good earlier. That was what I wanted. And then I've been wanting more fruit. And so the last time I was at the supermarket, I made sure to pick up all the berries because those are going to have lower carbs than things like my um, pineapple and oranges and things like that. So I'm going to do a fruit and yogurt bowl. I have raspberries, blackberries, a kiwi, strawberries, some crunchy coconut, and then a peach yogurt by the Greek gods. So I'm going to have that, and that is going to use a high amount of carbs, but I think for dinner I'm going to try the when people do keto, they'll use pork rinds in the place of a lot of other things because they're zero carbs. And I was like, oh, I bet you could use pork rinds in a nacho dish to get that kind of crunch. And I did a quick search, and yes, pork rind keto nachos is a big thing apparently. So I think for dinner, that's what I'm going to do is some pork rind nachos, as long as I'm feeling up to that. But I'm going to have this first, and then we'll see where the day takes us. Today is just a weird eating day. I have planned out dinner, and I still needed quite a bit to hit my protein macro. So, and because I didn't have, I had veggie breakfast and then fruit and yogurt. So I am going to do some protein eggs. I have a couple of duck eggs, some 2% cottage cheese, some fresh dill and Valentina hot sauce, some Kinder's salt, pepper, and garlic blend, and I'm just going to do these as a little afternoon snack before dinner. Well, I changed my mind about dinner. I want, I was wanting some edamame. So I'm going to have that. And then I had planned out this meal earlier and hadn't done it. I found these soy wraps, and they come in sesame and colors. I haven't opened them yet, so I don't know what they're going to look like. But basically, 2 sheets of the sesame is 20 calories, 2 sheets of the colored ones is 15. And I'm just going to do a couple of little, kind of like sushi rolls, but I'm not going to do any rice or anything in them. I have some smoked salmon and some sweet and spicy tuna. So with the salmon, I'm going to do a salmon like you would have a salmon and cream cheese roll, except I'm going to use some Laughing Cow, and then I have some cucumber. And then with the tuna, I'm going to do a tuna and vegetable roll, cucumber, avocado, some of the pickled cabbage and red pickled onions that I made. And then I haven't tried these before. I found them at a store in Virginia. So there is a sushi sauce, which looking at the ingredients, I think it's probably an unagi sauce, which is like an eel sauce. So it's thicker. It's not like soy sauce. And then they have a wasabi sauce, which I hope is not so hot that I can't that I can't have it. But I'm going to have a little bit of those. I haven't opened these before, so I don't know what they're going to look like. It says there are 10 half sheets in the pack, so I'm assuming that they're going to end up being very small rolls. But let's see what we end up with. Okay, so this is what they come like. There's the sesame seed ones, and then the other ones. So they basically, they look kind of like, I don't know, like big sheets of fruit roll-ups. But that's what they are. And I think I'm going to do, I'll leave the 2 orange ones out. And then I'll have 2 of the sesame ones. Those look quite nice. And then the sauces, yes, this is thicker, like traditional eel sauce. And then that's your wasabi sauce. Now, how hot is the wasabi sauce? It's got some kick. I couldn't do a whole lot, but it's nice. And then, yeah, that's an eel sauce. That's really good. Okay, so I'm going to steam the edamame and put these rolls together.